Well, hey there, and welcome to Legally Blissed Conversations and the fifth episode of the series Asked and Answered. I'm your host, Suzi Hixon, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. I've been a practicing trademark attorney for about 20 years, and I'm really here to empower my slightly younger sisters-in-law with practical advice and tips and insights to help you navigate the real world challenges that you're facing in your legal career. So in each episode of Asked and Answered, I'll be tackling your burning questions and sharing my own experiences and wisdom to help you thrive in the legal world as a junior associate. I'll try to be that mentor that I wish I had had. So from navigating workplace dynamics to mastering work-life balance, I've got your back. So let's get started with today's question. This question comes from Jane in Ohio. Jane writes, "Hi, I'm Jane, and I'm struggling with imposter syndrome. I've been working in the legal industry for a few years now, and I've achieved a lot of success and recognition for my work. However, I can't shake the feeling that I'm really not supposed to be here. I'm always second guessing myself and wondering if I'm really qualified or deserving of my position and salary. Sometimes I think that the only reason I got here is because I'm considered attractive by general standards. I know that these thoughts are irrational and harmful, but I can't seem to shake them. I want to feel more confident in my abilities and proud of my achievements, but it's hard when I feel like a fraud. I'm wondering if there are any strategies or tips for overcoming imposter syndrome and feeling more confident in my abilities. How do other successful women in the legal industry deal with these feelings of self-doubt and insecurity? Are there any exercises or techniques that can help me change my mindset and beliefs about myself? I want to be able to own my achievements and feel confident in my abilities without constantly second guessing myself. Can you provide some guidance on how to overcome imposter syndrome? Thank you, Jane." So thank you so much for sharing your feelings and your concerns about imposter syndrome, Jane. First of all, I want you to know that you are not alone in experiencing these thoughts, and many successful professionals, including myself, have faced this challenge. So first, let me assure you that your achievements are valid and your success is well-deserved. And big congratulations on all of your achievements thus far. And I'm confident that there are many more to come. So recognizing your hard work and dedication that you've put into your career is important. However, I do understand that overcoming imposter syndrome is not as simple as just telling yourself to feel better or to stop feeling this way. So here are a few little tips that I think might help you tackle some of these feelings of self-doubt and insecurity when they start bubbling to the surface, as they inevitably will. So first of all, recognize and challenge your negative thoughts. So when self-doubt creeps in, acknowledge the thought, say to yourself, "Thank you, thought. You're kind of being a jerk right now, but you're just a thought and nothing more." I keep thinking about it in Game of Thrones, Arya, how she would say when Syrio asked, "What do we say to the god of death?" And she would say, "Not today." Kind of the same thing with that, negative thought. Recognize it and say, "Not today," thought. So challenge that thought by reminding yourself of your challenges or of your accomplishments and qualifications, and keep a list of those achievements, whether or not they're big or small, as sort of that tangible reminder of your capabilities. So second, share your thoughts and feelings, kind of just like you did now. Hopefully just writing them down and creating that email to me might have given you some solace to some extent. Talk to your trusted friends and colleagues, and if you have a mentor, of course, about your feelings of imposter syndrome. And you may have, you may realize that, there are so many other people who have this same type of experience who can really offer support and understanding and additional advice. Third, I want you to think about how you can practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding when you're feeling down and you're doubting yourself. Remember that we all make mistakes and we all have setbacks. And it's really essential to learn from these experiences and just continue moving forward. And of course, keep an eye out for that negative self-talk. I know that a lot of us use a lot of really bad self-deprecating language and negative self-talk that's just worse than we would talk to our worst enemy. And when you notice those thoughts coming up, ask yourself, would I talk to my best friend this way? Probably wouldn't. Fourth, I want you to celebrate your success. So when you achieve something, take the time to acknowledge it and celebrate it. By recognizing your own accomplishments, you help to reinforce your abilities and build your confidence. Fifth, surround yourself with positive influences. Build a support network of individuals who encourage you and uplift you. It's really essential to have people who can offer constructive feedback, help you celebrate your achievements, and really help you maintain that healthy perspective on your abilities. Finally, I want you to remember that perfection is not attainable. It's just not. It's ethereal. It doesn't even really exist. No one is perfect, and setting these unrealistic expectations for yourself can really just exacerbate that imposter syndrome. Embrace the idea that mistakes are going to happen and setbacks are really a normal part of the learning process, especially as a young associate, and use these really as opportunities for growth. As a young associate, I too really struggled with imposter syndrome, and I do feel it bubbling up from time to time. And as a young associate, I felt like I didn't belong and that my accomplishments were just mere luck and not based on my merit or achievement. It really took a lot of time and persistence, but I eventually learned to challenge those thoughts and recognize my own worth. But of course, again, those challenges still come up. It's a practice, right? I also got a coach who was incredibly helpful in helping me kind of poke holes in the stories I kept telling myself. So I suggest that you think about doing something like that as well. Looking back, I know I could have done better by seeking support from peers and mentors and even mental health professionals at that time at an earlier stage. And it really would have helped me navigate those feelings, I think, more effectively. If you find that imposter syndrome is significantly impacting your mental health and well-being, I do encourage you to seek guidance from a mental health professional. They can really provide you with additional tools and strategies to help you cope with your feelings. Remember, the guidance I offer here is based on my experience and should not be considered as a substitute for mental health care services. So by implementing these strategies and seeking support when needed, you can work towards overcoming that imposter syndrome and embracing your well-deserved success with confidence, Jane. I should also let you know that myself and a few other of the fabulous women in the Legally Blissed community will be doing a live roundtable on May the 17th right here on this YouTube channel. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you subscribe and share with your friends so you don't miss it. But we actually are going to be talking about self-confidence and specifically imposter syndrome. And I have a feeling there might be a few really great coaches on that roundtable that will be able to give you some more tips. So that wraps up today's episode of Asked and Answered on Legally Blissed Conversations. If you have any questions or a topic that you would love for me to discuss on a future episode, even anonymously like Jane in Ohio, just make sure you send me a DM on LinkedIn. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. The link to my LinkedIn is below the description or is below this video in the description. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and colleagues. And again, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you're listening to this on a podcast, please leave a review. It really goes a long way in helping other people find this content. And finally, if you're looking for more help on setting boundaries, kind of navigating imposter syndrome, finding a mentor, learning how to say no, or just building a support network, come join us at legallyblissed.com. We're a community for women lawyers who believe that to be the best advocate for others, we must be excellent advocates for ourselves and for each other. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and I'll see you in the next episode of Asked and Answered as I continue supporting and uplifting fellow sisters-in-law on their legal journey. So stay determined and let your values and your passion for justice guide you. Have a beautiful day.